Israel Teitelbaum is my name. My question is, do you believe that parents have the right to raise and educate their children with minimal government interference?
Okay. Can we start with you, Mr. Meyerowitz?
Yes, I do. The government should play as small a role as possible. Government should be minimalistic. Parents should have the right to choose where their children go to school without government interference. I mean, I'm a libertarian by nature. I think the less government, the better. I think parents know their children the best. They should be responsible for where their children go to school. They have to be responsible for making sure the homework is done. Right now we have a system where the parents say it's the school's responsibility, the schools blame the parents blame the kids, and everybody's blaming each other. But really it's not. There needs to be less dependence on the government, more dependence on the home, and there should be more parental choice in the matter. The system isn't working now. If you go into Newark, graduation rates are not good. Dropout rates are not good. They're way too high. And I think part of the problem is that parents aren't involved. So we have to shift a lot of the responsibility from the schools to the parents and to home. And that means government's going to have to give up a lot of the rules and regulations that they think are most important.
Mr. McKeon, can you address that?
Yeah, thanks. I can't believe we continue to trash our schools. Statistics just came out. Our fourth graders are second in the nation. Our eighth graders are fourth in the nation. And our SATs and ACT scores are about the highest in the country, much to the detriment to a lot of our high school kids that are college bound because they have to compete against each other to get into the most competitive schools. We do an amazing job and should be very proud of how we educate our children in this state. As it relates to Mr. Teitelbaum's question, when I say I'm in favor of homeschooling, I think homeschooling has its place based upon a decision of certain families. There are many faith-based individuals in the community where I live in West Orange who choose to homeschool. To the extent that to make certain that those children are receiving at benchmarks the education to show that they're achieving at the same level or such as the other children of like age, I think is important to make certain that as opposed to well-intended people, which are the vast majority of homeschoolers, that others are abrogating their responsibility to the children to make sure it's fair to them if they learn.
Mr. Funt, what's your thought?
Thank you. Look, I am a big believer in competition. We have a system that says the government, the question that I ask is who should decide where your children go to school? The government based on your zip code or the parents based on what's best for your children? I live in Livingston. I'm fortunate we have a very good public school system here. My children who are in the room, you're being very well behaved, I'm proud of you, go to these public schools. And we're very happy here. The sad reality is that, while John may put out stats overall, there are communities here where that is just not the case. And people up here would not send our children to some of those schools, yet we don't offer them the opportunity to get out. I believe we've spent so much money on education in this state, but the money should follow the child. And if you live in a school system that is not working for you, you should be able to then take a portion of your money and send your child to a better school, any school that works for you. People who are against school choice say, oh, you're draining money from the public school system. But just think about this for a second. Given the choice, if you have to give the choice, you would then take your child out of that public school and into a private school. Why would you force that parent to keep their kids there? Who would do that? Where's the liberty in that? How is that good for the child?
Ms. Jasey.
Yes. Did we answer the question that you asked? I think you were asking about parents and being able to make choices, and were you talking about homeschooling?
No.
No.
What Barry said, the right to take your child to whatever school you want.
Okay, all right, I was wondering about
With the
that.
money, of course.
Okay, because I agree with Mr. McKeon in that for some parents, homeschooling is a good choice. But when it comes to school choice, I believe in school choice within the public schools. And the reason for that is that, as I stated earlier in my opening statement, I believe that educational equity and access is the civil rights issue of this century. I believe very strongly that without an excellent education, one has very little chance of being successful in life, of moving up, if you will, or moving out, or doing what you want to do. And because I believe that, I work very hard every day on making sure that our public schools are strong, but that there is competition within them. And I prefer to do that either through the interdistrict choice program that we have here in New Jersey, we've had for about 10 years, and that I'm looking to expand, and through charter schools. Charter schools are public schools, and they have a little more flexibility than the regular public schools, but they offer the opportunity for innovation and incubating ideas. The problem has been, I think, that the kinds of strategies and innovations that the charter schools have been able to come up with have not been shared with the regular public schools. Perhaps we'll get to talk more about that.
Mr. Funt, a rebuttal.
Yes, I have 30 seconds, right? I appreciate the work Ms. Jasey has done on education. She's on the Education Committee, and as I said in my opening remarks, I find her to be a thoughtful and caring person. But to only limit the choice within other public schools, I think in some places that's just really not much of a choice.
No.
We owe the parents there deserve the right to do what's best for their child. And I think if you have a small sector of competition, it needs to be a much wider range for us to get the impact that we're looking for.
Mr. Meyerowitz,
Okay, thank you.
30 seconds.
We've all seen, I'm sure we've all seen the ad of President Obama made for John Corzine running for governor, where Obama's standing up and he says, thanks to John Corzine, New Jersey has the best schools in the nation. Have you seen that ad? I guess I'm the only one who saw it. But if you ask the parents, do you think your kids go to the best schools in the nation? I don't think many will agree with President Obama. I don't think they will. You know, and I met recently through Barry a gentleman named Dan Gaby, who ran Jimmy Carter's presidential campaign, a Democrat, who says that the numbers are being fudged. I have to stop.
Yep.
And in those recent statistics that came out, we're closing the achievement gap by the best we can. We're in the top 15 states at this juncture as it relates to the achievements, if you will, between the haves and the have-nots. As it relates to President Obama, the thing that I disagree with, it's not John Corzine, it's the taxpayer that funds the school, and it's the teachers that are dedicated and are the ones that have produced some of the best and brightest in this entire nation. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about homeschooling. And so I apologize for not being precise, which is what I want to speak to. I too am a believer in charter schools. When
Okay.
an area...
Sorry about that.
Okay.
We'll have to continue the conversation.